So, Coach Reeder, the last few years for the Southside Hawks football team, it has been an emotional roller coaster, if you will. 2015, you guys were 5-5. Last year, you guys were 1-9. And also at the coaching position, last year you were just the interim head coach. This year, you've accepted the head coaching position. Explain to me what your thought process was when everything happened and why you accepted the head coaching position.
Well, obviously, I've told several people, obviously, this is where I want to be. I'm going on my 5th year here. I love it here. I love the kids. I feel like it's a perfect fit for me. Obviously, I was glad to let everything settle down. We can just return back to normal, and doing what we do on a daily basis.
Now, Coach, it has been a big difference from last year and this year. Last year, you guys were 1-9. This year, you guys are sitting at 2-1 at the beginning of the season. What has changed? What's the big difference?
Well, the main thing this offseason, which started in the weight room, we want to focus on the little things. We had a lot of big plays last year, big players, but we done some of the little things wrong. So we wanted to go back to work and correct those little things.
Has your coaching style changed at all?
No, as far as from being the interim to head, no. I'm still doing the same thing then and now as I'm doing then, but no.
Speaking of coaching style and coaching team, you have a couple of Southside alumni on the sideline helping you out. You have Brent McNeil and David Smith. Talk about them, what they bring to the table, as well as the rest of your assistant coaches.
Well, obviously, them too, Brent coached me at Bethel. So I've been with Brent around football for almost 9 years now. Me and him go back a long way. Obviously, he's a great mentor. He's a head coach himself, so he kind of knows a lot of how to do a lot of the business side of it, things that that you don't necessarily think about when it comes to being a head coach, as opposed to he's older, he's been there, done that from the collegiate level to the high school level. So that helps. David, obviously, I've been trying to get David on for a couple years, and I was able to do that this year, and that was a big thing. Obviously, I got 2 guys. I'm not from here. I'm from McKenzie, so to have 2 local guys that's been here, done that, been good football players for this program, it can only bring positive things. Coach Bennett's actually finishing up his degree at Union, should be finished up this year, and he played for me a few years ago, and he's been back on the staff. This is his 2nd year on the staff, and I got Brian Dickens come to us. He was teaching at Huntington, and we also all went to college together there at Bethel. So all those guys doing a good job and a good fit for us here.
Now, how does it feel to actually get to coach alongside Brent McNeil? And what's one thing that he has taught you that you use in today when you're coaching your guys?
Me and Mac are a lot alike. We're both high intensity, very outspoken guys, and me and him kind of feed off each other. He kind of already knows what I'm thinking. I kind of know what he's thinking. We're just been together for so long. So obviously, like I said, it's as long as he's been around the game, it makes a big difference when you're stepping in your first year to have somebody that's been around both sides of it.
Now, on the field, every year each team has maybe a different leader that would step up and take control and be your eyes on the field. Who is that for Southside Hawks?
Well, actually, this year our team chose 3 team captains. We got Clevin Hill, Preston Burton, and Shamar Givens, and all 3 of those guys, they do a wonderful job for us. Which that started back in the off season in here in the weight room, competitions outside, during the spring, and then now it's transferring over to the field. Those are the guys that lead us out every Friday night. And then when things are going on or we need to make plays, obviously that's who we're going to lean on.
Now, there might be a player who gets overlooked because what they do necessarily doesn't transfer to the stats sheet. You have the player who runs hard and, to chase down plays. Who is that player?
I don't know that I could pinpoint it on just one. Just talked about 3. There's 11 on the field at all times. So, they're all important. And I would say, all of them, from our offensive line, our defensive linemen, to our special teams. There's 40 other players out there, and that are not actually on the field. I still got 20 on the sideline cheering us on, run pass calls, and they're just as important as the guys out there. So I couldn't just pinpoint it just to one. There's probably about 40 other guys I need to name.
What are your goals for this season's team?
Well, obviously, we haven't been to the playoffs in a long time, and that was the thing that we set down that we wanted to do this year. We wanted to make a run at the playoffs. So obviously, that's what we're working towards, and that's our main goal and what we're focusing on.
And how do you make it to the playoffs this year?
We just got to keep finishing doing what we're doing. Obviously, we got a big region win Friday night. We've got several more coming up, 4 more left. So we just got to take care of business.
Coach, how many years have you been coaching altogether?
Well, I volunteered while I was finishing up my master's at McKenzie for 2 years under Wade Comer, and then I made the move up here my last year when Driggers took over. So this would be my 7th year total.
Have you learned anything different about yourself?
I mean, you learn something new every day, obviously. I mean, that's what it's about. Just like teaching, coaching, anything, you always got to be your open book, or you're constantly learning. But, yeah, I mean, different. You know, you go from McKenzie, and I've never been outside of McKenzie. So the kids that I'm coaching, the people I'm around, you come to Jackson, I mean, it's completely different. So your persona or the way you handle things, that, obviously you have to completely change what you do because you're dealing with completely different people.
Are there any kids on the team that you learned something new or that surprises you in practice or in the games?
Well, I mean, they all do. Like I said, I've told many people before, I love the kids here. I mean, the work ethic, the drive that these kids have, I mean, it's unbelievable. You know, I mean, not necessarily that we got the most talented kids, but I mean, I wouldn't trade mine for nothing. You know, I know that the people that I put out there on the field, those 11, they're going to give me all they got every play, and I don't have to worry about that.
Last week you guys ended on a win. How do you guys keep the wins rolling against Obion County this Friday?
Well, we just got to feed off that. I mean, obviously here we've been down the past couple of years and we had a lot of opportunities to win. So now we know what it feels like. We know what it takes to get there, and we got to keep pushing forward.
Thank you, guys.